Hi, welcome to this Pen Publishing Interactive Flipper Site Developer CMS video. In this video, I'm going to give you an overview of Flipper Site Developer CMS's Webmaster tools. Let's get started. So I'm already logged into my website here, and I already went to the Webmaster tools on the left sidebar here, and I just click Webmaster tools. So if you're there, you'll see this interface just like mine. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you an overview of each section and the benefits of having this within your website. So let's get started here with the search engine sitemaps at the top. So a sitemap, all that is a list of pages on your website. So what Flipper Site Developer CMS does is create a sitemap.xml file of all the pages that you want indexed on search engines. So this is important because if you submit the sitemap XML to, say, Google Search Console, which formerly was Google's Webmaster tools, it allows the search engine to better index and better crawl your pages. So the beauty of the way that Flipper Site Developer CMS does this is that it does it on the fly. So if you are submitting your sitemap to Google Search Console tomorrow and you've added some pages overnight or later today, what you're submitting is the latest and greatest. So it'll have those, and again, it allows Google Search Console and Google to better index and better crawl your website. So that's what the search engine sitemaps section shown here on the Webmaster tools for Flipper does. So the next area is the Google area. And if you're familiar with Google Analytics, you know that it's very important to have this installed on your website so that it allows you to view reporting and view how your users of your website are going through it. So within the Webmaster Tools section, you have instructions. So if you don't know how to accomplish this, Flipper Site Developer CMS Webmaster Tools gives you step-by-step instructions, which then you can follow, and you can install the code, which again allows you to view reporting on Google Analytics. And if you go over or roll over these information icons, you can learn more about each of these sections and what they do. So just wanted to point that out. And again, same goes with Google Search Console. You can expand the instructions and have a walkthrough of exactly what needs to happen to get this installed on your website. We have it for Google Tag Manager, Google AdSense, and Google Map API key. So again, this just makes it super easy for you to install these tools or this code to generate reports on those tools. Before, if you've done this for a while, you know that it used to be where you had to take the scripts and you had to install them in the actual file headers or footers of your website. Again, Flipper Site Developer CMS allows you to just simply come in here, follow the instructions, and paste the appropriate information onto the website, and then you can benefit from the reporting of those tools. So again, that was Google. And we also have this in here for Bing Webmaster Tools. So if you want to verify your website and take advantage of Bing Webmaster Tools reporting, you can do that here. Now, the robots.txt content section, if you're familiar with robots.txt, all it is it's a file that lives on your website that tells search engines what pages to not index. So for instance, if you have pages or directories, either or. So if you have a page or a folder that you don't want the search engines to index so no one can find them, you can come in here and disallow those pages and those directories from being indexed on search engines. So again, we provide instructions here. You can simply copy the sample code and paste it here. So say you have your website is part of, or you have a section for board members and that you keep minutes and you don't want the search engine for whatever reason to not index this, you just make sure you put the URL or the path to that directory on here, and again disallow this path. So search engines, once they crawl the site, they will not index that section. So you can do it that way. Another way that is, I believe, is a lot easier to do is if you go to the page or that you don't want to be indexed or disallow from search engines, you can just go to that section, and I have another one here opened. So for me, it's my cart section on this demo site. Click the SEO tab, and then if you scroll down, you'll see this Google sitemap setting. And again, there's instructions here that you can read, but if I don't want this to be displayed in my sitemap and I don't want search engines to index it, I can simply come here and just hit no, and that will add it to, and I'm gonna hit save real quick so you can see what that looks like. That would add it to my robots.txt file to disallow, and I'm gonna refresh this page. And there it is. So that section or that page was disallowed. So that's in the case that I don't want my e-commerce page to be searched. To be indexed on search engines. So Flipper has that built in. I'm going to leave this an auto. If you have auto selected, all that means is that depending on the level of permissions for that section or that page, that's how it's going to get into sitemap and indexed by search engines. So if you have a page that is specific to, again, I'm going to use the board member example, they have to have a role of board member and they have to log in to see the page. That page will not be added to the sitemap or search engine. So again, if you roll over these information icons, there's a lot more detail there, but essentially auto, that's what it does. Or you can just say simply yes. The other thing that Flipper does is you can set the setting on how often you update this page or the content on this page for search engines to know that. Again, more information's here. You kind of want to be careful with this, because if you put this, you can set this to hourly. That means that, or always, Google is going to constantly index your website, and it's going to cause it to be slow for users. So just be honest with this setting there. And finally, how important is this particular section? And this is only valid for Google search engine. And all this tells is helps the Google results tell with the level of importance of the section. So 10 means the greatest importance, and 1 is not very important type content. So again, very powerful, very easy to use tool here. And finally, you can also go to the sections or a page and tell it if you want it to be tracked in Google Analytics. Again, auto, same idea, same applies as the sitemap. If it's available to the public, it's going to get tracked in Google Analytics, or maybe you don't want to track it for some reason, just hit no. I want to hit save so that I can go back over to the other page and take that disallow out of there. And as you can see, it's no longer there. And finally, the Webmaster tools in Flipper Site Developer allow you to add scripts to the header of the site or the footer. So if you have scripts that you need to add to the site, this is where those would go. So that's Webmaster tools on Flipper Site Developer CMS in a nutshell. Hope this video has been beneficial. For more information, you can visit us at pimppublishing.com. If you are on social media, Facebook or Twitter, we appreciate a like and a follow there. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, we'd appreciate if you subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching, and until next time.